Hello folks, welcome to the Sunday edition of the Land Tamer Stream, talking about EvenG, studying for the written struggle areas, etc., etc. So I hope you're having a good weekend of good study, good solid study on your topics that you're working on or labbing, if that is the case. It is Master Sunday too. I'm going to try to catch some of this while I'm studying, maybe playing in the background a little bit, although I won't pay much attention to it. But this is a shot of, I think, the 12th hole, 13th. Anyway, this is the agenda for this brief vlog this Sunday morning. Again, hope you have a great weekend, folks. Hope you're getting all the good bits in your labs and in your exam practice or on your flashcards, whatever the case may be. Here's the little chat window in case you want to drop me a line. Yeah, topic 63 days ago. So I did some work on EvenG. As you may know, if you watch the stream, I'm in the midst of an evaluation period between VIRL, EvenG, and GNS3. And yesterday, I did a little work with GNS3. This morning, I did a little work with EvenG. I'd already set up EvenG, but I'd set up the server and the virtual machine. I had not set up remote access. Well, I'd set up let me pull up a drawing, show you what I'm talking about. I think I still have the drawing here. Yeah, I posted this drawing as well, folks. There's a Google Drive share linked below, and this is where I put all this stuff. All this stuff, I just dump it there. But this is a drawing I did. I uploaded a visio and a PDF in case you're interested in either. But basically, I had already set up the EvenG client remote access, and that'll work just fine. But what I had not set up yet is this remote access. In other words, this connection to the physical network, to the VIRL devices I had running in this Eve lab topology. And I have to say, compared to how long it took with GNS3, this was super easy. I did have to download, I guess there's a little client that you could download for EvenG to set up your PuTTY. The EvenG Windows client pack. So I had to kind of research that a little bit, but I found that and installed that, and then PuTTY worked right away. You know, I click on these routers here in the Eve topology. Again, doing this all remotely from the Windows 7 machine to the VM running on the iMac. And the remote console would come up. I assigned this network, and I don't know which one it chose. I created an additional network adapter in the virtual machine. I don't know if I needed that or not, or if I'm still just using the single network adapter that is bridged to the physical network here through the Mac. But I just added this net, and then I brought up GI01 on the VIRL router image, and I told it IP address DHCP, and boom, it connected, got one from the home router, and then I was able to connect in using PuTTY on this Windows EvenG client. It was that simple. I just popped in the IP address here, and it worked. So I'm running EvenG not only with VIRL images, but the next phase was completed this morning, and that is getting a connected physical network and connecting through the Windows 7 machine here to the router. Basically, so if I drew a line, well, I can't right here, but from this computer, it's now easy to connect into this router or any device really now on the physical network here in the EvenG topology. So this drawing is uploaded. Feel free to reference that if you need to. This is a very easy setup though. And I have to say that could be due to the fact that I'd already learned some lessons from GNS3 and how to set up the virtual network adapter, how to connect the cloud. So to be fair, if I had done this before GNS3, it may have taken a little longer. So, and I'm going to consider that in comparing. I'm trying to be fair in comparing these different versions or these different software solutions and how easy it was or was not to set up. And that will be coming probably this week then. The last part of my basic evaluation testing that I need to do is I need to do some performance testing. I have several criteria. One is sort of ease of setup, ease of use and maintenance. Another one is performance. And so far, so good. But again, it's just been very cursory usage of the labs. I think probably what I'll do going forward to test this week, and I'll kind of do it on the side as I'm studying for the written. That's the focus right now, 63 days ago. And I have about 10 days or so to decide on renewing VIRL or not, my VIRL subscription. So probably what I'll do on the side is just launch the same lab topology in each, in VIRL, in EvenG, in GNS3. Watch the CPU metrics and just see, how the performance compares in each type of virtual machine. I don't expect really to see a lot of difference. That has a lot to do, I think, with the images and the implementation of those images in the virtualization layer itself, but we'll see. We'll see. My expectation is that I will not see a lot of difference, and that won't really be a major criteria factor in choosing one of the three. Again, just to bring this up, folks, I had some questions about this. Hey, how'd you do this in your drawings, etc.? It's very simple, guys. I'm running this on a Windows machine. The Visio I run in Windows. And I was telling someone else in Discord this morning that before, what I used to do when I was a consultant that traveled a lot and I had to do a lot of network diagrams on the fly, I was using a MacBook Pro, but I, of course, ran a Windows 7 virtual machine on the MacBook Pro with Visio running in there, and that worked just fine. But these drawings I did actually do in Visio on the Windows machine, actually this one here. So I'm going to show you, though, the Google Drive links in case I did create 2 new folders out there. Pulling it up now, yeah. So there's most everything I do on this channel is left here, right? So I have a GNS3 now folder and an EvenG folder. These are new. And it has both the Visio drawing and a copy of the PDF that I output from the Visio drawing in case you want to need to reference it. In the future, depending on which one I choose, I will be probably putting topologies in here that I work on. Okay, so this is all shared with public. Anybody can view it and take advantage of it if you want it. So what's next on the agenda here? Written study. So it's the weekend. I've had a good bit of time to do some written study, and I have been going through the blueprint, as I mentioned before, and just marking things off as I've covered them in the documentation. So it says here Cisco docs. I knocked off several yesterday. Let's scroll down to these. This takes a minute to load here on this computer. But I'm down into the 3.3, I think. No, take that back. I got a little farther. 3.6. Did some of that yesterday. Okay, now I'm into 3.7. I'm into some BGP stuff. So just kind of cleaning up some weak areas in BGP. I'll be studying a little bit about that today. And what I did at the end of the day yesterday is I took some more boson questions, and I've identified some weak areas. I'm not sure how I'm going to mark that yet in here. But I'm going to vlog about that maybe later in the week because I have some ideas about how to tackle these weak areas. These are questions that I pull up on boson. I've studied them, and I've studied the documentation, but I still don't have it, right? It's still a weak area. I know that, and I have to dig deeper. And you can only go so far doing the documentation. So, maybe that's labs. I'm not sure. Maybe that's some videos from Cisco Live archives. I'm not sure. What I started to do, though, with this was really tough for me, or has been, in the boson questions. I get these wrong just about every time. That is ipv6 tunneling over ipv4. So I found a really great RFC, which I've linked together, link below as a meat chunk. This RFC is awesome. A lot of the informational RFCs, to be honest, man, I don't know who these writers are, but the few that I've had to actually go to RFC level, when you have to go RFC on something, when it's time to drop to the RFC, enter rap music, whatever. I try not to do that a lot, especially for the written, but this has been necessary to do, and this one is excellent. The writing style so far is really good. I know I've got it blown up really big here on the screen, but this is helping me, and I started to make a spreadsheet, which I will later upload to the drive. I've got it over here. This is rough in, but this is helping me too, tunneling IPv6 over IPv4. And there's some other schemes besides tunneling, so this may change. But address schemes, a tunnel mode configuration. Do you have to configure an IPv4 address? Do you have to configure an IPv6 address? IPv4 protocol number, use cases, connection types. So I'm sure there's stuff out there already on this, but I'm having to do the notes on my own. Old Ammon. Old man, yes, old man I am. Old man and almighty bandit, good to have you, man. Yeah, old but kicking. Old and still kicking, buddy. So yeah, this is a really good RFC, and I have a couple other meat chunks to go over here with you folks. This is Tom Ammon is a great. He's a great contributor to the community. Let me put it that way. This is a good vlog or blog, I should say, that I highly recommend. I read it this morning, and then this has been not a weak area per se for me, but the whole topic of convergence has been very important, especially in my work actually. You know, IGP convergence, and I studied some of this yesterday for OSPF, but this is a link that was tweeted out. It's an older episode of Network Collective, Fast Reroute, but it's definitely one that I'm going to be going through probably later today. But that's all I got in terms of meat chunks, folks. And the vlog today, like I said, is brief. I'm back to studying for the written, using whatever time I have this Sunday to get on it. Still have to do some chores, some errands, but wherever I can, I'm going to be hitting the books here on these, especially IPv6 tunneling and BGP. So keep labbing, keep studying. Hope you get all the good bits in your jobs and in your labs, and keep up the good fight, folks, fighting for those numbers or whatever certification or study goal you're working on. Get to it, and we shall see you soon back here in the Land Tamer stream. Thanks for stopping by.